What was it like being a page?
That was the coolest job ever.
Really?
I would do it again.
Yeah.
All these young
That's a
people.
90-year-old man.
Well, that's the thing. This is my life.
Yeah.
Almost all of them were fresh out of college, and I was like 24 or something. So I was like the old timer. As usual. Not like today. It was like a hot co-eds fraternity. Lots of parties, lots of little affairs. Some of them are married now.
Wow.
Some of them. How should I put this? Anyway. Some of them were seduced by people you've heard of.
Ooh,
and so on and so forth.
Let's drop some.
Nice.
But
I'll cut 'em.
I went from being a waiter in a Mexican restaurant on 23rd Street to like, tonight you're seating the Letterman audience.
Wow.
Which to me was like Mecca.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The second day I was there, and I had spent all my college years. All I wanted to do was write for Letterman. That's all I want to do with my life, and spent years and did all the stuff you're supposed to do. Like the second day in the job, they're like, "We want you to be in a skit. We're doing a thing with Joan Rivers," and it was one of the writers' wives had just had a baby, and so they brought the baby, and they pretended that the baby was crying, and Dave's like, "Would you take care of that, please, for us?" And I grabbed the baby from the woman and walked out of there. And their thing was like, Dave, we waited a long time for these tickets. Can we stay? So like the parents of this brand were saying to the page, get this kid out of here because we don't want to miss the show. So it worked that way.
That's good.
And then, however many years later, I ended up working for Joan. So that was sort of cool. But anyway, that kind of, like I said, I was bussing tables, and then 2 days later I'm on Dave's show, so that was pretty wild.
What was it paying?
So the page program is Letterman, SNL, Donahue used to tape in New York then, Cosby.
Okay.
So you do all this.
Yeah.
You're touched by so many people.
And then a lot of pages end up getting real jobs because if you can, if you're good at making coffee, maybe you know how to make copies. Oh shit, she should be an assistant. It was a venue for an on-ramp for a number of people.
Nice.
So that was, and of course, just lots of parties.
Yeah.
We went to the SNL after party every week.
Really? Wow.
Those were pretty heavy. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
What year was that?
85 to 87.
Okay, so who was on SNL at that?
Yeah, who were you partying with?
They had just flipped. Lauren had come back, so Dennis Miller, John Lovitz, and then Dana. Dana was on.
That must have been, was it Mike Myers?
No, just before him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think he started in the 90s.
Yeah.
When did
Kevin
Wayne's World
Nealon.
come out?
Kevin Nealon? Okay.
Victoria Jackson. Nora Dunn.
Was that?
But the breakouts were Dennis,
Yeah.
who became like my favorite comedian at the time, and Dana and John Lovitz.
What about Al Franken?
He was kind of an elder consultancy guy. He wasn't a staff writer anymore.
Oh, okay.
And he and I had the same manager. Ooh. That was bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the same Jew, huh?
Actually, yes.
Yes.
Is that a problem, man? We have a problem with our Jewish brothers.
Yeah, if anything, he's proud of it.
Yeah.
Bragging.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have any questions?
I'm just here to listen.
He's here. Yeah, you're just here, man.
That's what you want in a podcast. One guy yammering on about the old days.
Yeah. Good old days, Jim.
I mean, the old days sound way better than the today days.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. I was gonna say, at least for him, yes.
Anyway, we're buying some chickens.
There you go.
Yeah.
It was a good ride. It was a good fun ride.
I saw that SNL movie, and I don't really watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah?
I heard like none of it is true, but it was like for the most part, it's like,
like this beginning of SNL.
Yeah,
right?
it was about like the
origin
first
How the
story
show
they ever
came to be,
yeah.
Yeah.
And
The National
it was like
Lampoon movie is pretty good too.
Oh yeah,
What-
the one
what-
on
The National Lampoon
the one
movie
on
about like the
Netflix?
origins
No,
of
that
the
I haven't
magazine.
seen either. I should
It's pretty
probably
good.
see that.
It's pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Ned, you've lived such a storied life.
Yes.
And, you know, never thought I'd. So you went from being a page to working at the Improv, or
Yeah, Page. Nothing happened. Didn't get any. I got a job at NBC. I got an offer from NBC Radio, but I'm like, it's not what I want to do.
what was the job?
Some production job.
The news.
I can't remember, but I wasn't like to host a show or anything. But
Yeah.
it would have been like if I wanted to be a radio producer, that would have been the thing. But I just didn't.
Oh, so it wasn't like TV.
I like radio a lot, but no, that's not what I'm like. I didn't come here to do this.
Yeah.
So I went back to waiting tables, of course. and then like literally 5 years later, I got that thing from the Improv
Okay.
to the remote control thing.
Okay.
That was weird because, at that time I'm in like my late 20s and like, so how'd that showbiz thing go? No, it didn't really happen.
Nah.
But I'm still,
Yeah.
have you ever thought like people would actually say to me, maybe you should like advertising? Maybe that's good because it's still creative. Like,
Yeah.
You have that little creative thing.
Could write jingles or
So
something.
what are today's
right?
specials? Yeah. So it was,
Yeah.
it was,
I mean, there's always OnlyFans. You could always hop on.
Not
they
back
didn't
then.
have that then.
Oh,
We
right.
just go. We would just walk up to people and expose
yeah.
ourselves.
Yes. All right. Hey.
A little different.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
Hitch up the wagon, man. Aw, I want to go flash some people.
In the big city.
And then they would
Yeah.
pay you in like sorghum and
Okay.
fritters.
Yeah.
Other,
Old timey
it was-
hay pennies, right? That's a
Analog.
thing.
halfpennies. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a barter system.
Okay. All right.
That's what made our country
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Did you move to LA for a job, or did you move?
Yeah,
to,
no, because that's 90% of TV production was in LA. So it was
okay.
like New York was like high school and LA was like the college thing.
Okay.
So as soon as a friend of mine got a job, he would like throw me a lifeline, and
Okay.
so on.
Yeah.
Okay, so you never got to be on Letterman.
Never wrote
Officially,
for Letterman, but
yeah.
I had enough connections where I could set up a freelance thing. I sent him
Okay.
jokes
Yeah.
every morning, and he used.
Mm-hmm.
I probably sold him 50
Yeah.
jokes over the course of a year or so.
That's not bad.
That should be a cool feeling.
Yeah.
I still remember the first one. I was so excited.
Because like
LA had a
sorry.
whatever seismic, the number.
Yeah.
It wasn't an earthquake. It was Tom Arnold and Roseanne Barr's honeymoon. And I don't know why he used it, but he did. I can't imagine why he would.
Maybe he had beef with Roseanne, and so he was like, I gotta,
Could have
you
been.
know.
I could have been.
Uh huh. Did you ever interact with her?
She came into the Improv a couple times, but I don't remember ever having a conversation with her.
Okay.
I thought she was absolutely brilliant. Really a great comic, in my opinion. I don't know if her stuff still holds up, but
Her tweets hold up. Let me.
she was doing stuff that nobody else would
She's
do.
wild.
Yeah.
Down the conspiracy rabbit hole.
She's-
if you
she's-
want to go down that.
God
Completely
damn it, no.
insane. But she's also really smart. So,
Yeah, so that's where I get my
like you,
from.
Right.
a raving lunatic, but pretty high IQ.
Yeah.
That's
some.
the nicest thing anybody's ever seen.
Wow.
Too smart for their own good.
Let's
Yeah.
jot that down,
Yeah.
shall we?
Yeah.
I never learned how to write.
I noticed. Anyway, I'm teasing, of course. We're having a little fun here.
Yeah.
Kind of the number one Metro Comedy podcast. No big deal.